Hey guys, this is Non Lammers of Invoked 101, and today I am doing the updated Salamangreat deck. Like I said, so the first Salamangreat deck we did was the $30 budget version, which was coming straight out of the boxes. This one is using more outside support, more other stuff, and once again, I gotta give a big thank you to Malia. They provided a few cards for this deck that we highly needed and helped us finish this thing up really quick. So once again, thank you to our Patreon, Malia. But without further ado, down in the description is a link to our Patreon if you guys want to back us on that. All that stuff goes back into deck profiles and stuff for the channel. And then we also have a link to our Discord server down in the description. So if you guys want to check that out, our general chat is open to the public. Now, without further ado, we're going to move the extra deck and the spells off to the side, and we will talk about Salamangreats. So let's zoom in just a touch. Alright, so the first Salamangreat we have is Triple Gazelle. If you don't know what Gazelle does, if a Salamangreat is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal special summon, you can send one Salamangreat card from your deck to your graveyard. So it's pretty cool, pretty insane. Is your main combo starter and is your main combo piece right next to Triple Salamangreat Spinny. Spinny has a little hand trap effect where you can give something, you can like discard him to give something 500. And then, but his main effect that you're going to be using is that if he's in your graveyard and you control a Salamangreat monster, you can special summon him, but banish him when he leaves the field. Now, the great part about Spinny is that if you detach him off an Xyz material, he doesn't get banished, which is like the best part. But yeah, those are like the two most important Salamangreats. Up next, we have the more supporting Salamangreat cast, which is Double Foxy. So Foxy is pretty cool. He has an effect that when he's normal summoned, you get to excavate the top 3 cards and add one Salamangreat card from the deck to your hand. So, you know, kind of like a Pot of Duality or a Dark Magic Circle, I think is a more in-theme explanation for that. And then he also has an effect where you can, if he's in your graveyard, you can discard a Salamangreat card, special summon him, and then pop a face-up spell or trap, but there has to be a face-up spell or trap to resolve his effect. He's pretty good. You can only use one effect of Foxy per turn, and it's a hard once per turn on both effects, which kind of sucks, but that's all right. Next up, we have Jack Jaguar. So Jack Jaguar is kind of the main deck beat stick. He has 1800, and then he also has the effect of piercing damage. And then if he's in your graveyard, you can shuffle a Salamangreat monster back into the deck, and then special summon him to a zone a link monster points to, a Salamangreat link monster. So he's pretty good. He's also a rank 4 enabler. Next up, we have the one-ofs that kind of just help the deck. I play one Foul in the deck just because I think Foul is great. So what Foul has kind of a Kaje to Kaje effect, where if a Salamangreat monster is normal and special summoned, you get a special summon this as well, and then it can kind of lock down a piece of back row, kind of like Trickstar Life Stage does. So and you do stuff like that. And then the last Salamangreat monster in the deck is Salamangreat Mole. This card has the effect of being able to summon itself if you link summoned that turn. And then it has another effect where if it's the only Salamangreat... No, if you control no cards, you can shuffle 5 Salamangreat monsters back in the deck and then draw 2. I think you have to banish them to do it. But yeah, no Falco right now. I think Falco, from what I've seen, especially since we just... saw like the first day of YCS Atlanta, it looks like Salamangreat Falco is really only good in the mirror match, so I would designate that to a side deck card if you guys are like wondering where that card is. But yeah, that's why I'm playing what these are. I'm playing a lot of stuff that summons itself, really. But that's it for the Salamangreat monsters. Next up, we have just the generic cyber stuff, which includes Triple Lady Debug. This card is nuts. This card says when it's normal special summon, you can add one level 3 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. This is one of the cards that is just kind of needed for the deck. I didn't think it was super necessary beforehand, but as I playtested this deck, I think that this card is definitely super useful and a very nice consistency booster. And then the other Cyberse monster we play is Backup Secretary, because it's a level 3 that can summon itself if you control a Cyberse monster. But that's it for the Cyberse stuff. Then we have the hand trap lineup, which is it's a pretty simple hand trap lineup, pretty standard. Triple Ash Blossom because it comes in the structure deck, so we just kind of have them to go with this deck. And then double Effect Veiler. I feel that like you don't need too many hand traps with Salamangreats because they're able to kind of power through at least one, but there of course, you know, there is always the case of like sometimes you're gonna get hit with a hand trap and you just can't continue. But that's the curse of hand traps, really. All right, moving on to spells and traps. The first spell we have is Salamangreat Circle. This card is a Rhoda for the deck. It just adds a Salamangreat from the deck to the hand, and then it has another effect. I think that the other effect is target a Salamangreat and it can't be destroyed or something. Let's see. Oh, okay. It targets a reincarnated Link monster and makes it unaffected by monster effects, which is kind of neat, but you're almost always going to be using it for the search. Then we have our 2 of Salamangreat spell, which is Will of the Salamangreat. I really like Will of the Salamangreat, and a lot of people play this at 1, but I'm playing it at 2 because I think that 1, it's like a in-archetype monster reborn, so you kind of do want to see it because it can special summon a Salamangreat from the hand or from the graveyard, so it could be a potential starter. And then it also has another effect where you can target a reincarnated Link summoned Salamangreat and special summon monsters equal to its Link rating from the graveyard, or at least Salamangreat monsters from the graveyard. I think that this card is nuts, and the fact that it's like a monster reborn and a tiny soul charge and it's continuous, it's nuts. You can only use 1 effect per turn though, and it's a hard once per turn on both effects. Then we have the 1-ofs, which is like 1 Salamangreat Sanctuary. The reason you play this is the search off of Balinks, and then also the reincarnation Link effect that it does, so that way it's you're linking away stuff that's pretty, you know, you don't have to waste materials. Then we play 1 Fusion of Fire. This is a super poly for the deck. It's nuts. There's not much to say about this. It's basically just super poly. All right. That's it for the Salamangreat spells. And then the last spell we run in the deck, which I guess I shouldn't have moved the other spells, Triple Called by the Grave. This is pretty standard for Salamangreats just because Salamangreats kind of do have a hard time dealing with multiple hand traps. So Called by the Grave is almost a necessary 3 of in the deck. Alright, that's it for the spells. So moving into the traps, we have, and this one's going to be a little weird, Triple Salamangreat Roar. I know it needs like a Salamangreat Link monster on board to activate, but I still think it's like the best trap in the deck, and you can easily get Salamangreat Links on board, especially with Balinks being able to protect them. It's pretty easy to keep this on board. Also, it resets itself if you reincarnate Link a Salamangreat. Here's another really good trap card. This is Salamangreat Rage. This card can pop multiple things. It can pop 1 thing. It's crazy. It's just like a trap. So like you can target a reincarnated Link summoned Salamangreat and then pop cards equal to its Link rating, and it doesn't target. It's nuts. I also don't think the first effect targets. One moment. No, the first effect targets. It's the second effect that doesn't target. But this card is still insane. And then Triple Goes and Match. This is because the entire deck is fire, and there is a lot of stuff in this format that does kind of lose the Goes and Match, so we're playing 3 of those. And then lastly, 1 Infinite Impermanence. You can play a 3rd Effect Veiler, but we're playing the Impermanence because we have 1. Alright. Okay, and that's it for the main deck. Talking about the extra deck, let's start with the Link 3. We have Salamangreat Heatleo. This is kind of your big boss monster of the deck. When he's summoned, he can spin back a piece of back row, and then if you reincarnate Link summon him, he gets the effect to basically change the attack values of monsters on the field. 1 second. Alright, so like he spins back a piece of back row when he's summoned, and when he's reincarnated Link summoned, you get to basically just like shrink a monster. He can target a Salamangreat and a monster in the graveyard and a monster on field, and then change their attack value to the target engrave. After that, we have triple Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. This card is actually one of the hardest cards to get a hold of, and I think it's ridiculous that he was a $10 rare. He seems to have calmed down to about a $4, $3, or $5 rare, but that's still pretty insane. His effect is that when a monster is normal special summoned to a zone he points to, you can pick up a fire monster out of your graveyard, and then he has another effect when he's reincarnate link summoned to pick up a Salamangreat spell trap out of the graveyard, which becomes pretty useful with Gazelle. And then for the Link 1, we play double Balinks, and Balinks has the effect to search out Salamangreat Sanctuary, I think, or Sanctuary of the Salamangreats, something like that. It searches the field spell, and then it has an effect engrave. You can banish it when a Salamangreat monster will be destroyed by battle or card effect, which is pretty dope. That's it for the Salamangreat links. Now, I do want to say we're not playing like Transcode Talk or OTK or anything like that in here. We're just playing some pretty standard stuff. So we got one copy of Dual Little Chimera for the attack boost. One copy of Hita, because this thing is insane in the mirror match, and you're definitely going to run into the mirror match. One Flame Administrator for also for the attack boost, and that's it for the extra links. That's it for the other link monsters, I should say, not the extra links. Alright, for Xyz monsters, we're playing double Mirage Stalio. This thing summons a monster from the deck. It summons a Salamangreat monster from the deck, and then when it's used for link material of a Salamangreat monster, it spins back a monster from the field, which is pretty amazing. So it's like an MX8 Burn Invoker, and then it's also like a Compulse, which is nuts. And then for rank 4s, we're playing Abyss Dweller, because this thing's really good in the mirror match, and if you can make it, you can make it, and it's nuts, and it basically stops your opponent. And that's the same reason we're playing Baguska. But Baguska hits more stuff than just the mirror match. And then lastly, we have to play our fusion of fire target, which is Violet Chimera. I guess there is an OTK with Violet Chimera, and there actually is a really cool interaction between Violet Chimera and Spinny, which Mio told me about, where basically you summon Violet Chimera, and then to get his attack boost on his own, on your turn, like when you swing with him, instead of having your opponent change the attack values of their monster, you change it for them by discarding Spinny and targeting one of their monsters, so that way Violet Chimera will just become huge. It's pretty crazy. And that's it for the Salamangreat deck. It is a bit more than the structure deck one that we did earlier when we first got the Salamangreat structure, and I know it's taken a while for us to get this out, but I think that this deck is a pretty solid build for Salamangreats, in my opinion. I like this version, but we are actually going to be working on another version of Salamangreats that I know Mio is going to be a little bit more excited for, because just because I think it's going to be more up her alley of play, and I think it's going to be a lot more exciting even for you guys. So, but yeah, of course, tell us what you think in the comments below. And while you're down there, there's a link to our Discord, and there's a link to our Patreon. Supporting us on that goes directly back into the channel. And then tell us what you thought of the deck profile, and I'll see you guys in the next video.